Back real quick because I was telling you earlier about the stuff I bought. Now I also bought. I forgot. Don't forget about my one of my favorite stocks. It's called WULF. That's the ticker. Okay, they're a Bitcoin mining company, right? But they're also heavily shorted. Like to take this time to tell you that I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say on here is indication for you to buy or sell anything. This is just a documentation of my trading journey. But with that being said, people ask me now. I do also say that it is good to own $1,000 in Bitcoin because again, Bitcoin when you own like owning Bitcoin, not an ETF, like go on an exchange, you know, put in your thing and you actually get $1,000 worth of BTC and then take it off the exchange into your own cold wallet. Okay, that is what I mean by owning 1,000 Bitcoin or $1,000 in Bitcoin, right? Or any crypto like that. Some a percentage of it. Some things you should keep off exchange. Okay, some all the time, and certain portions of others. But anyway, back to what I was saying. But the majority of my money, like I know Bitcoin's going to run, so of course I have exposure to Bitcoin, but it's not through just buying Bitcoin. If you understand what I'm saying, understand this. Bitcoin's going to run to where it goes right now. I told you $950,000 by September, right? September. I don't want to waver on that because I don't want to waver. But dude, if I'm still before, if it's by December, either like you know what I'm saying, from $100,000 to $1 million in a year, it's insane. Insane per now. Look at the percentage. This is what I don't understand. I guess people, their brains are just a little bit different. When you hear that, people are thinking a million. Wow, I got a 1 million. You don't want 1 million. True, but what you look at when invest, well, what I look at is the percentage. Okay, a 200% gain is a 200% gain no matter what number it is. You know what I mean? I tell people all the time when you tell somebody about a stock, oh man, I bought this thing and it went from, even XRP, it went from 25 cents, 30 cents to $3. And then you tell somebody a stock went from, uh, $50 to $100. Or $50 to, you know what I mean? Like you tell them those low numbers, they don't. Whatever. You get a $6 stock, yeah. But no matter what you put into that stock, what amount of money was in there, whatever money you had in there, just like a 600% gain. It's probably more than that from 30 cents. You got three of them bad boys in there. Yeah, that's like a thousand percent gain. You know. So again, to get more exposure to BTC, I went and I purchased options, right? Because one, Wolf is cheap too. Wolf is like $2-3. It mines Bitcoin. It's the cleanest miner out of all the miners, and they don't mine that. Compared to Riot and Mara, it should probably be at like $15 right now. Okay, but it's at $2-3. You look at the chart. If you don't look at charts, long story short, I think that the stock is heavily shorted. I have great, this good reason to believe it's heavily shorted. And then on top of that, you tell me it's a Bitcoin miner. So if Bitcoin is going to whatever is going, you understand? Okay. That's a diamond in the rough play right there, honestly, because if you think about it, if there is a short squeeze in there, Bitcoin is going to run up infinitely. They're mining already. They've been mining, so they have tons of Bitcoin already. Okay, so they're going to, and then they're heavily shorted. So that thesis is destroyed when you have companies like Nvidia buying into Bitcoin. That thesis is destroyed. And then on top of that, the energy sector. Pay attention to that. I'm interested in the energy sector. It's pretty nerdy. That's like the nerdiest of the nerd when it comes to, for me, like financial stuff is like, oh, the energy sector. But it's actually pretty cool. Like that's why that nano nuclear energy stock, that's heavily shorted too, but it's in the energy sector. But what I'm trying to say is the nuclear stuff. Like they're looking for new alternatives to energy. Why? I don't know. All I'm gonna say is, they had the plan of the tariffs, like them or love them. No matter what, it's going to change how other countries look at you. So you're going to have to start looking at different ways of doing business, because in the future, what this is looking like, you're probably going to get some tensions, bro. It's probably going to be a lot of tension. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not going to touch on the tariffs. I'm just going to tell you, if for anybody thinking that those are just going to be 6-8 months off things, what incentive would Walmart, Ford, will all these companies have of bringing all their corporations, bringing amount of money and time to bring everything back and start factories again? You know how long that would have to be in place for that to happen? Years, bud. That's going to be there no matter what. That's not going away. It's probably getting a little worse, or it might get a little better, but it's not going away. I promise you, it's not going away. Yeah. So again, my original thesis of these guys eventually turning to Bitcoin, right? These companies are like, we really got nothing. So even Wall Street does it. They start jumping on waves to keep the Ponzi going. This market has been inflated. When people ask, how is it that the stock market just keeps on, and it looks overinflated? Because it is. This is how, because new pony acts keep getting introduced, and the amount of money coming in now, printed out now, that's how you got that, okay? Now you got to do, like I said, now at least you got a new financial instrument. So, yeah, they're about to pump that stuff up pretty good. Pretty decent. There's a lot of reason for those miners. Another one I want to say is, you got to think these other companies like this crypto.com and all these other, the little apps where you go to buy your crypto. Okay. They're trying to be banks. Some of them are trying to be banks. Even Ripple. Okay. Ripple, I told you they're in the space, and I said Apple last time, but they're like the big three, big four. They're like Amazon. That's how they move. Amazon, Apple, not Tesla. Kind of like they got tech like Tesla. But Tesla doesn't really, they don't, I guess they make splashes sometimes, but it's more of Elon Musk that makes splashes. But either way, people that make those big plays like that, I like those. Great companies. But yeah, these miners could be bought up by other companies way bigger than it. You know what I'm saying? Like there is so much potential with those miners that is just untapped potential. Okay, untapped. So yeah, that's what I had to add. WULF, that ticker symbol. I got options like a year out and 2 years out for about 3.5 calls. Like $3.50 calls. That's what I go for with that type of play. Okay? So now you know. I feel better. All right, deuces.